Did you think getting commercial leads would be easy? I did. And I booked over $1 million from LinkedIn because of it. But it was a grind, figuring out what actually works. I wish I would have known how to do it smarter from day one. So to help you make getting commercial leads and landing bigger jobs easier, here are 10 mind-blowing truths that will take you from 0 to 1 million. Point number 1, the construction site mistakes that are costing you millions. When I first started out as a commercial contractor, people told me the best way to get leads was to walk into a busy construction site, hard hat, orange vest, act like I belong. I tried it. I mean, picture this: jackhammers blaring, cranes swinging overhead, and me awkwardly tapping strangers on the shoulder, asking for work. I thought there's got to be a better way, and there is. Because today, your competitors are making millions from the laptops. They're not smarter than you. They just stopped doing what everyone else does. And let me say this: LinkedIn is a gold mine. Over the past 5 years, I've booked over $1 million in commercial painting jobs through LinkedIn. No big following, no endless hours. And just last month, I landed a $97,000 job using the strategies I'm about to show you. But before you dive in and expect the leads to start rolling in, there's a catch. LinkedIn can cost you big if you don't use it right. Let's make sure that you don't fall into this trap, which brings me to point number 2. Don't hire marketing companies to get you leads on LinkedIn before you learn it first. Most marketing companies will gladly take your money and leave you high and dry. I ended up hiring one company that wrecked me. They ended up hurting my reputation and trust on the platform. They were connecting with whoever, whenever they wanted. Just because you have the cash, don't go looking for the easy route right now. Focus on the strategies I'm getting ready to show you and stay consistent and apply them, and you will get commercial leads. But you're probably thinking, this sounds great. How do I get started? Which brings me to my third mind-blowing truth: understanding why LinkedIn is a gold mine. I used to think LinkedIn was for finding a job, connecting with employers, hope for an interview. And sure, it works for that. But here's the game changer for contractors. Inside those companies are the exact decision makers who hire contractors, the people who control the big budgets. And they're on LinkedIn every day. They're posting, they're commenting, they're trying to look for solutions. And you need to be there too. Now, this isn't just about picking a one-off job here or there. I connected with a facility manager named Cody years ago. This one connection turned into project after project after project, adding up to tens of thousands of dollars. And the best part, finding people like Cody on LinkedIn is free and easier than you think. So let me show you how to get in front of the right people so they start handing you these opportunities too. Point number 4, create a free LinkedIn profile and fill it out like it's your online resume. And I know what you're thinking. Hey buddy, I didn't start my own construction business, so I'd have to make a resume. But here's what used to happen to me all the time. I'd be painting an interior of an office building, and the customer would ask, do you guys also paint exteriors? And I'd say yes. And they'd go, oh, I wish I would have known that because I just hired another contractor last week to paint the storefront of my building. Oh, it happened all the time. That's when I realized customers can't hire you for the work they don't know that you do. Just because you're a contractor doesn't mean they automatically know your full range of services. Your LinkedIn profile is like having that conversation with every potential client before they call. List all your services, your experience, what you offer. It's just not your online resume. It's how your customers get to know and trust you before you ever meet. The people that you want to impress at these companies are high performers. Some of them operate in Fortune 5 companies. If they see things missing, they think that's the same about your work. So make sure you add a picture, smile, maybe wear a company shirt, craft a clear headline about your company, and then attach a banner image. That's the image that's displayed on top of your profile. All this information is not only there to speak to your ideal client, but also to help LinkedIn understand who you are and who you're attracting. LinkedIn calls them your buyer's persona. But having your profile completed is only the first step for success. And unless you understand my next point, you won't see results. So point number 5, your buyer's persona. I made a huge mistake when I started on LinkedIn. I tried connecting with homeowners, general contractors, architects, my buddy down the street, like everyone I could find, but nobody responded to my content or my messages. And the worst, it confused LinkedIn. But it wasn't until I applied this one concept from a famous entrepreneur, and most of you probably heard him, Alex Hormozi, that I saw results change. He said the way to make life-changing money in your business is that you should have one avatar, one platform, and one product. But how can we apply this? So once I spoke directly to my buyer's persona, that's when I got a ton more opportunities to partner and bid on projects. As a commercial contractor, you need to find decision makers that will be hiring you for projects. Connect with them. That's your avatar. It's what LinkedIn calls your persona. And I would study everything you can about them. Go to their profiles and see what their interests are and what their pain points are. Gather that data to help you write the perfect profile. But notice what Alex Hormozi also said. He said one platform. The key is not to be everywhere online. If you're like me, when I first started out, you're a sole entrepreneur. You only have so much time. So don't be on Facebook and TikTok trying to learn those platforms to get commercial leads. Focus on what works. LinkedIn alone, and you'll be able to grow your team and be known in your area as a commercial contractor. But now that you understand that we have one platform, which is LinkedIn, and you know who your avatar is, these are people who maintain the buildings. This brings me to my next point. It's point number 6, your product. And this gets back to wanting to attract everyone. When I started my painting company, I was a residential contractor. I only helped homeowners. It's probably the same way for most of you watching this right now. You start in residential and you grow into commercial. But I got trapped into this. On LinkedIn, I was posting my residential work. I was talking about solutions for homeowners, and it got me nowhere. Your product on LinkedIn is you're a commercial contractor. The decision makers don't care that you painted your buddy's house down the street. You need to show them that you understand commercial projects, like project management or how to follow safety regulations. You're not a residential contractor. Sure, the experience helps, but it doesn't apply to them. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that you should stop your residential side of your business. I still paint houses, but it's not my focus. I don't get on LinkedIn and try and market to residential homeowners. Does that make sense? This message you craft needs to be in your profile and in one other important place. And you're going to hate me for saying this. Point number 7, your content strategy. Oh, don't throw nothing at the camera. Okay, hear me out. I know most contractors hate this idea. That was me 5 years ago on LinkedIn. I avoided recording myself at all costs, especially going to jobs and turning my camera on and showing my work. And the worst part was, once I started making videos, other contractors clown me for it. But here's the thing. Once I started being consistent, things changed for me on LinkedIn. I showed up in my local area. The persona I was targeting started to know who I was and started to trust me more and more. And that's how commercial contracting works. You need to build trust to be successful. It's a proven fact that the people that watch your content, the more they trust you. And those other contractors, the ones that said it won't work, you look like a fool, they're probably the ones that are going to end up watching this video and taking some notes, because these are some badass tips. And listen, I'm not trying to make myself out to look all great. I just know what works on LinkedIn's. And if everything I show you follow, you are going to make $1 million in your commercial contracting business. Now, there is one simple thing you need to focus on when it comes to your content. This will make creating content 10 times easier. So point number 8, frequently asked questions based content. When I first started posting content, I thought I had to come up with a new idea on every video. Always making entire new videos and just grind it out. But that wasn't until I focused in just one area and made it 10 times smoother. Frequently asked question videos are an easy way to start with. I would think of the most common questions customers would ask me. And if you need help with that, you could just go to Google and figure out what these people are asking painting contractors, or in your case, plumber, landscaping contractor. And it's simple. I gather that information, I pull my phone up, I smile, and record a video about it. Here's the thing. Don't overthink it. You're not making a documentary here. You're helping your personas with their problems, making their jobs easier. And when you do this, they will trust you more. They're not looking at every detail, every video, and making sure that the timestamp's right and the perfect color and the perfect lighting. I recommend posting weekly, whether it's videos or images like before and afters of your projects. But here's the number one rule for content. Make sure that you're consistent. LinkedIn wants your videos. It's a short form content platform. And as you grow on LinkedIn, your followers that are be following you will be looking forward to your videos. And if you're inconsistent, you will lose their trust. And also you'll be losing the trust of LinkedIn. And speaking of trust, there's one mistake that will confuse both your ideal clients and LinkedIn about who you actually serve, killing your results before you even get started. So point number 9, strategic connections. And this is where it gets juicy. This is where you guys came here for. This is how I landed a $97,000 job, and you can too. When I first started on LinkedIn, I thought more connections meant more opportunities. I was blasting connection requests at everyone Old friends, random contractors, even people out of state. LinkedIn didn't know who I was trying to reach, so my profile kept showing up in front of the wrong people. But once I stopped chasing quantity and started focusing on quality, everything changed for me on LinkedIn. Instead of connecting with just anybody, I began building a network of people who could actually open the doors for me, the decision makers. That's when real growth started. So what happened? My inbox wasn't full of noise anymore. I actually started getting opportunities to bid on projects. I had one relationship alone turn into a $97,000 job. And with the same company, I'm lined up for another $200,000 next year. Now here's a golden rule when it comes to making connections. And be sure to rewatch this part of the video because it's the one thing contractors overlook. When someone connects with you, that's not the finish line. That's the starting gun. Remember that marketing company I mentioned to you earlier? After I fired them, I took some time off from LinkedIn and I went back to the books. One particular book that stuck out to me was LinkedIn the Saddler Way. It drove it home. Something I'll never forget. When people take an action on LinkedIn, whether that's commenting, tagging you in a post, or hitting a connection, that's your green light. That's LinkedIn basically saying, here's your shot. And think about it. When someone connects with you, they're already opened the door. If all you do is just let the connection sit there, nothing happens. But if you use that moment to start a conversation, that's where the opportunities live. And here's the difference maker. Don't just blast a sales pitch. That's your chance to ask smart questions, to show that you understand their world, to speak curiosity. So if they respond, that's your shot. That's how the deal starts on LinkedIn. Some of the biggest contracts have began this way. One connection, one conversation. But the difference between a dead connection and a six-figure opportunity comes down to what you do at the first moment. But here's the thing. Even with the right message, and even with your perfect sales message, you won't get results unless you engage with them regularly. That's where weekly engagement comes in. And point number 10, engage with your network. This one took me a while to figure out. When I first started on LinkedIn, I treated it like Yelp leads. I would get their info, send an estimate, and move on. But LinkedIn doesn't work that way. This is a B2B sales platform. You're not chasing a one-off job. You're building long-term partnerships. And here's the truth. Partnerships are built through engagement. It's not enough just to connect with people. You've got to stay top of mind. The best way to do that is actually showing up in their world. Now, this doesn't mean spamming them on every single post that they do with a comment. Be strategic. Pick your spots. Here's a rule to follow when commenting. Don't just say, great post or good idea. That's nothing. You want to add insight, spark conversations, and show that you actually understand the challenges they're dealing with. If you can do that, you'll stop being just another name in their connections list. You'll become someone they actually notice and trust. And trust is a currency of LinkedIn. But trust is the only beginning. You need to follow all the steps I've laid out for you in this video. It's the only way to go from $0 to $1 million on LinkedIn as a commercial contractor. Anyways, I just hope this video helps you get more commercial leads. And if you found any value here while you're watching this video, be sure to subscribe to the channel and we'll see you on the next one.